Hello and welcome. I'm Gurdev. This video is packed with information about Copilot agent development. I'll give you a walkthrough of my development environment that will get you started with Copilot agent development. And I'll also do a demo of 5 different type of Copilot agents. Let's have a look at the development environment. My development environment is made of a M365 developer tenant. It's got an E5 developer subscription. To this tenant, I have added a Copilot Studio trial license that enables me to use Copilot Studio. Next, I have created a Copilot pay-as-you-go billing policy. This billing policy is tied to my Azure subscription and it is scoped to a security group. The purpose of the billing policy is to enable me to use Copilot agents without having the M365 Copilot full license, which is quite costly and for which there is no trial available. Thirdly, I have created a Power Platform developer environment. In this environment, I have provisioned a Dataverse database, and within the Dataverse database, I have created some tables that are used with the agent development. So that is, in a nutshell, my developer environment. Copilot Studio license, a billing policy, and a Power Platform environment. Now let's have a look at the 5 different Copilot agents. So the first agent is SPO HR Assistant. This is the typical HR chatbot that can respond to staff's HR related queries. This is a typical use case. You might have seen this example in many Microsoft presentations. The agent has been provided with knowledge from a SharePoint document library, and it's been told not to use any other general knowledge. So the web search is disabled. Essentially, agent must respond from the content that it has been provided with, the organizational policies. Let's have a look at this agent in action. So in the SharePoint site, so this is the document library which encloses all the policies, the annual leave policy, code of conduct, and the agent is launched from the Copilot icon. And end users can ask it all sort of their HR questions. What are my leave entitlements? The agent responds with the appropriate information, whatever is enclosed in the relevant policies. Similarly, if they want to know what sort of travel expenses are allowed, and if they want to contact HR. So essentially, in summary, this HR agent is designed to respond to HR related queries. It's been provided with the organizational HR policies, and the agent is told not to go wider than this knowledge. I'm calling the second agent the Savera Connect. The purpose of this agent to act as a customer service agent for a public website. This agent has been provided with knowledge from my own public website, and it's been set up to not go wider than the knowledge it has been provided with. Let's see this agent in action. So this is my public website to which this agent has been deployed. It can be accessed by any site visitor from the icon here, and they can ask it questions that they want to. For example, where am I based? What sort of clients I have worked with? And any other question they may find it easier to ask rather than browsing my website. So that's the second agent. Again, in summary, this agent is wired with unstructured knowledge, which in this case is a public website. Now, one important point here is about security. Given this one is deployed on a publicly accessible website, it uses anonymous authentication, which means no security whatsoever. And that requires very careful consideration, and that's a subject for another day. The third agent, I'm calling it the SPO CRM agent. Now this agent demonstrates how a Copilot agent can be connected to SharePoint lists. It has been provided 3 SharePoint lists as its data sources: clients, engagements, and client files. Now these 3 lists are connected with each other through lookup columns. The purpose of the agent is to answer CRM related queries. Now I'm using CRM as an example. It could be any line of business application that is built on top of SharePoint lists. Let's see this one in action. So this is the SharePoint site that has all the CRM lists. I've got a clients list with a list of clients, client engagements for each client linked via the lookup column. Now staff can use this agent to ask questions from the CRM. Things like knowledge about clients, list of all clients. So in this case, it has returned me the list of all clients. Let's see if it can find me engagements for Acme. Now I'm intentionally using a partial name here rather than the full Acme Corporation name. So it's not been able to find the proper engagements for the Acme Corporation. Let's see if I try to use the client ID and see if it can find it that way. So now it has been able to find the 2 engagements I have for the Acme Corporation. So that's the third agent, and it showcases using Copilot with SharePoint lists. Now, a couple of observations I have here. The first one is I found it really slow. The responses take a long time. And secondly, the generative AI smarts, like really working on intent, does not seem to be that accurate here. Now, to be fair, these reasons could be attributed to licensing. So in my development environment, I'm using a Power Platform trial environment, which may have capacity constraints, which could be why the responses are slow. And secondly, my development tenant does not have a full M365 Copilot license. That could be the reason behind the generative AI not working as effectively as it could be. So to work around this problem, I tried something different with the next one. Let's check that out. The fourth agent is still the CRM agent, but this time this agent is based on data that is in CSV files. The agent has been provided with CSV files that are stored in a SharePoint folder. Now these CSV files are essentially the exports of lists that we saw in the previous agent, the clients list, engagements list. Now, given the experience I had with the previous agent, the slowness problem and generative AI intent effectiveness problem, I thought to use the CSV files as a mechanism to test whether that will perform better. Now, another use case here is that if you have a line of business application that you could get CSV exported from, then you could use a Power Automate flow to generate these CSVs, save those CSVs in SharePoint, and then build the agent on top of it. So that is another use case. Let's see this one in action. So the CSV files are stored here. Again, these are simple exports of the SharePoint lists in CSV. And staff can use it in a similar manner like the last one. We'll ask the same questions to it and see if it performs a better one. So list all clients. So in this case, it was able to find me the list of all clients, and even in double format. So if we have got the names here and then the names with IDs here. Now let's see if it can find me engagements of Acme. Yep, it's been able to find the 2 engagements, even with partial name. And I think it should be able to find the engagements by client ID as well. And it has. So that's the fourth agent. Now this one seems to perform better rather than when connecting to lists. So again, this agent showcases how we could get data of a system in CSV formats, put them into SharePoint or somewhere else, and build a Copilot agent on top of it. And that Copilot agent performs pretty well. Now let's look at our final agent. The fifth agent is called the Dataverse CRM agent. This agent has been provided with knowledge of 4 Dataverse database tables: client, engagement, region, and contact. Its purpose is the same as the last agent, to answer CRM related queries. Now this agent demonstrates connection of Copilot agent to Dataverse databases. Now SharePoint is normally used for small scale applications, whereas Dataverse is much more scalable. It can span to hundreds of thousands of rows, and it does not suffer from SharePoint related problems like 5,000 row limit for a list. So let's see this one in action. First, a quick run around of the Dataverse tables. Again, the 4 tables. The region table encloses all regions within New Zealand and Australia, a list of clients for each region, and then client engagements, including the engagement value, and client contacts. Let's see this one in action. Again, we will try all the CRM related queries that we tried with the last ones. Show me all the clients. And it has come up with a list of clients. And then the engagements for client Bennett, again a partial name. Now it has found me the engagement for Bennett. Let's see if it can give me the contact for Clark and Associates. And it has. Now a bit more intelligent. Top 3 engagements in order of value. And it was able to provide me the engagements in order of value. So that showcases the Copilot for a much larger enterprise level application able to connect enterprise level databases.